Welcome to another episode of the Inspirational Corner with me, your host, Stylisha Bowden, where we encourage you here to live bold, live loud, and live authentically without apology. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to episode 12. This episode is a part of a three-part series called Loving Your Life. And this episode is part 3, the last installment of the series. In this episode, I will be talking about showing up for yourself and living your dreams. So, we are in a different season in our lives, a different time in our lives right now, with everything that's going on, still being in quarantine and in our homes, and we may not have human connection with the outside world, but we have human connection through our inner world, which is with the people that we are quarantined with, or even the people we are connecting with through calling, texting, or through Zoom. We are taking this moment in time to connect in different ways. And during this time, it can be really subtle that you find yourself on every Zoom call. You're finding yourself spending so many or too many hours on technology. And the reason I say this is because I found myself like this in the last week or so, being on different Zoom calls, talking to family, on the internet and social media more than I usually would be on technology. And I found myself tired. My head was hurting really bad in the last week or so. And I realized it's because I was truly in the mode of doing, and not being. And in this moment, I knew that I needed to show up for myself and take a step back to relax and focus on the present moment and focus on the things that are more important for my life. Even though this situation is going on, I realize for me, I have to adjust some things in my life and be more intentional to show up for myself as if it was back to normal or going back to things where I am able to maybe get away, because I love to go to hotels, and do my little getaways, my me time, and go to the movies by myself and do other things that doesn't require anybody else, and also that quality time even away from my daughter. Me and her both like to spend our own quality time away from each other. And so I realized that because I'm quarantined, when things feel a little closed in or overwhelming for me, I choose to go outside, whether it's raining, whether it's cold, whether the sun is shining. Outside, sitting on my porch, has been a way for me to show up for myself and give myself the time that I need. And during this time, I realized unplugging from my phone, leaving my phone in the house, not taking technology with me, not a laptop, not my tablet, is a great healthy way for me to show up for myself, for me to take that moment to relax, to get away. It is so easy to get caught up in feeling the need to be a part and to be connected, even in this time, because it's really subtle. And for me, being on social media or technology all day is not my regular norm. And so it's just me and my daughter in quarantine. So she's doing her thing, I'm doing my thing. And we both don't always like to do, things together because we're together all the time. So, because it's just me and her here. So, with that said, I just want to encourage you and tell you it is so important for you to show up for yourself. Give yourself that quality time. Take a week, take 3 days, take a day to say, no, I'm not plugging into my phone. No, I'm not plugging into social media. I'm not plugging into another Zoom call. Those things are okay not to do. And I believe it's so important for balance. We get so caught up in doing that doing could be even so subtle. Even in this time, we could find ourselves cooking every day, cleaning every day, working, doing, and we're still not getting what we need and what we deserve, even in this moment of slowing down, coming to a salter and simmering. This is the time where you can curate or cultivate the quarantine the way you see fit. And with this time, everyone does not want to be working on a business. That's okay. Everyone does not want to be on social media all day because we all are different with different dynamics during this particular time. So, in order to love the life and make your life a little bit more pleasant, it is important that you show up for yourself and live your life and live your dreams the way you desire. So, the first way I want to tell you to show up for yourself and live your dreams, even in this moment, is number one, evaluate. Evaluate your mental and emotional state, and as well as physical. Evaluate where you are at this moment. Once you evaluate your mental state, your emotional state, and your physical state, you can proceed to how you want to feel and how you want to be during this moment. What feeling and what do you want to choose in this moment? If you want to feel at peace and unplug from the news, unplug from your phone, unplug from everything, you have that right. If you want to produce a business and build up some things that you had as a hobby and change it into a business and start getting all the things that you need for a business, all the paperwork together, and actually connect with other entrepreneurs at this time, then if that's your choice, pursue it. However, if you're on the other end of the spectrum where you're dealing with anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues, you may just need someone to talk to. And so, with that said, there are different things that you can look up and Google where you can talk to a therapist online or over the phone, where you don't have to go, which we can't go anywhere right now anyway, but you can actually reach out to different hotlines and everything that you need for your mental health, because that's important. So, number one is evaluate. Whatever works for you, do you. Number two, be okay with doing it your way. Number two is be okay with doing it your way. Like I mentioned in number one, whatever works for you works for you. You don't have to take advice from social media. You don't have to take advice from other people. This is your time. Even in this quarantine, like I said before, we can find ourselves doing and not really producing anything. And by the time we come out of it, we'll feel more exhausted than when we were living our regular normal lives on autopilot doing things. Don't let that be your result during this quarantine. Be okay with doing you. That's number 2. Be okay with doing what's best for you. You know what's best for you. Don't let other people control and manipulate your thoughts and your time. That's number 2. Number 3, live your dreams. And the reason I say number 3 is live your dreams, because we all have this time to kind of settle down. And some of us are taking this time to, like I said, reevaluate, do what's best for us. And now we're taking the time to figure out, like, the life we were previously living, we don't want to go back to. I know for me, even before the quarantine started, at the beginning of this year, I knew that the way I was living before, I just wanted to make some changes and tweak some things in my life. And I started this year off wanting to do certain things. And to be honest, it has really manifested. The way I started it off in January 1st has just been a constant evolution of the rest of this year thus far. And I am enjoying it. So for me, going back to who I was last year, like near the end of last year, when I chose to kind of shut down and get in a mode of shifting some things around in my life, I can't go back to who I was at the beginning of December of last year, because that's when I started making the changes in my life that I wanted to make, to see the results, of the fruit of the seeds that I was planting. So I know for me, I don't want to go back to who I was or back to the life I had. I am ready to continue this journey in the new life that I have and the new choices that I'm making, because it's really been healthy for me mentally, emotionally, physically, and all of the above. And I've really been excited and happy. So for me, living my dreams in this moment has really been working on specific or particular things for me as an entrepreneur, and pumping my time in those things, and things are just flowing for me creatively. So with that said, number 3, live your dreams. Take this time to think about what was not working for you before the quarantine, or really at the beginning of this year. What wasn't working for you? What is it that you was not happy about? You can write it down. You know, and then as you write down what was not working for you, you can create a goal to work on, or you could create a plan on moving forward before the quarantine is over. Because everybody's saying, oh, we're going to go back to normal. And this is what I have been saying for the quarantine. I am choosing not to go back to normal. Unfortunately, we had to endure what we have to endure, but thank God that we have endured it and we still here. Some of us are not here, unfortunately. And my prayers go out to families that have lost loved ones. Even my family, an extension of my family, had to deal with the coronavirus. However, they came out on top of the virus, which is a blessing. So just because some of us are not talking about who has gotten sick in our family. It's a choice. It's how we go through what we're going through. And so taking this time to really understanding that your dreams do matter, showing up for yourself does matter in this time, because I'm not going back to what I used to do. For me, to me, this situation after coming out is truly going to be a new normal for me, because the things that I may have wasted, the time I may have wasted, or things that I took for granted, things that I really took for granted. I know for myself, I really won't take for granted anymore. For example, I took for granted sitting out on my porch, looking at my beautiful tree that I have in front of my house. I took all that for granted due to always feeling like I needed to leave my house to get away. And true enough, don't get me wrong, I really want to get back to being out and about because I enjoy it. Only for a certain time period, and then I love coming back home. I'm so blessed and thankful that I have a home to come back to. But in this moment, I choose to embrace a new normal in my life, and this new normal and new standard that I have set for my life. So with that said, in part 3 of this series, Loving Your Life, I discussed the important things on why it's so important to show up for yourself in this time and not being even in a doing mode, and living your dreams. So remember, I talked about evaluating your space, your life, and what you want to do at this time. Number 2, be okay with doing you. No matter what that is, do what is best for you, even in this moment and in this time. And number 3, live your dreams. Whatever that dream was before all this happened, now you can create the dream life that you so much deserve. So with that said, until the next time, everyone, I want you to stay safe, stay at home, and be blessed. And know that we are all going through this. That is the blessing in this all. But it's not what we go through, it's how we go through it. And know that the key word is through. We are going through it. And at the end of the tunnel, there's a beautiful lesson and light after this. So until the next episode, everyone. Oh, before I say that, the entire month of May, I will not be doing a podcast episode. I am taking this time to kind of shut down and relax because I have been working in my business, pumping out podcast episodes, doing things, and I want to relax and enjoy my summer. So you might get recycled episodes that you have not listened to this month, but I truly, truly will not be pumping out any new episodes, not until probably the fall. So I'm going to take May, June, and July, because June is my birthday month. So I'm taking those 3 months, May, June, and July, to spend this time in taking a step back from being in doing mode with my business as an entrepreneur and all the things I've been pumping out in the last couple of months since we've been on quarantine. This is my time to just be. So with that said, you will, or you can, listen to old episodes from episode 1 up until this episode on my YouTube channel. And you type in my name, Stylisha Bolton, and the Inspirational Corner. And once you do that, you can go to any episode and listen to it. And I'm so encouraging you to subscribe to my YouTube channel, The Inspirational Corner, with me, Stylisha Bolton, because you will not miss out and you will be notified when a new episode is up. And not only with that, I also give out free meditations as well. So you'll be able to go to my channel and listen to a meditation, even during this time, to kind of slow your mind down. So I encourage you to do that. So I want you all to have a beautiful spring and be excited about your summer. And I will see you with a new podcast in the fall. Until then, you all have a beautiful day.